Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F Podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up.
Do you want to try again?
No, I'm good.
Sorry.
Forward. Today, Trevor, we are talking about some updates on the Thomas Crooks case.
Who's that?
That's the guy that tried to shoot Trump about a year and a half ago.
Oh, and he got him like the ear?
Mm-hmm. That guy.
Okay.
Now,
that guy.
You may have recalled that we never heard anything about it. And then when this darling FBI that we currently have, hence my spiteful little graphic on there, when these guys got in charge, we thought we were going to get answers.
Killed his mojo dog.
Killed his mojo dog, right? Yeah, it's so hateful.
Mojo Jojo.
So, yeah, we never heard anything about it. Well, Tucker Carlson and I guess a source of his found his social media stuff. And, of course, that proves the FBI was lying. What a shock, because the FBI was like, see, he didn't have any social media. He had, no social footprint. He had, 18 jillion phones, but no social media. And everyone was like, you're full of crap, but we can't prove it. Well, they found some of his social media sites.
So he actually did have stuff.
Oh, yeah. And it basically verifies what I think we've said in the past on the show. He was clearly some angry kid that was like a rage lord, said a bunch of hateful stuff on the internet. And he started out threatening to kill Democrats. Then COVID happened. He got mad about COVID. He started to threaten to kill Trump. And somebody said, hey, guy, you would be perfect for a job. So, and then they, trained him to shoot a little bit and then told the Secret Service to stand down and let him do his thing. But they also had somebody in the bushes in case he missed, and that guy missed too, apparently. That's the going theory at the moment.
It sounded to me, personally, just me, somebody made this social media after the fact and said it was him.
I don't think that's right, because they had to do a lot of digging to find it. Basically,
they
somebody
didn't find
screwed up.
Somebody was like, we need to find something on this kid. Let's just make it up ourselves.
No, I don't think that's what happened. I think, they let the phone number out. And because one of the phone numbers leaked, they were able to get into the Internet archives and start finding deleted comments and things like that. So they let that one piece of information got through, and people were able to use it to try to find more.
Well, there you go, folks. Proof that everything stays on the internet.
Yeah, apparently. So
if you did something dirty, it's on the internet. It's going to stay there.
There are pictures of you naked. I am so sorry. All right.
Don't tell anybody that.
What? I'm just telling them the truth, sparing them pain, So.
Okay.
All right. We got, what is this, from Sean Ryan?
Sean Ryan Show.
All right.
It's just a quick video.
All right, we'll start with this.
The barrel of his gun through the fence. Secret Service, in my opinion, got lucky again because this guy wasn't trained. If he was trained, he would have had a pair of $20 bolt cutters with him. He would have cut out his line of sight through that fence, and then he would have pushed back into the shady leaves so that he couldn't have, been seen, right? The other thing that I noticed was he had his 2 ballistic plates up on the fence. What does that create? It stands out. And one of the first things they teach you in sniper school is there are no straight lines in nature. If a Secret Service agent is just scanning a fence line and he sees a bunch of, leaves, and then boom, he sees 2 dark plate looking things that have straight lines, it's going to catch his eye. And so it just showed me once again how lucky we were that the guys right now that are coming after the president or being sent after the president don't have a lot of training. One of the things I noticed based on this story that I'm hearing is that he was spotted because he put...
I disagree with that. It's called being a patsy.
A patsy?
A patsy. Somebody who doesn't know a whole lot, you give them just enough training to make them think you're part of the club or they're part of the club. And then you let them wander around like an idiot so everybody sees them. And then they get blamed for the assassination.
Yeah.
Like he was the patsy. He got a shot off, missed. They had another guy a little further down who for some reason also missed. The Juan Ryan show should be like, yo, I was a Navy SEAL, homie.
Yeah, that wasn't Sean Ryan himself. That was one of his guests.
I like it though. Juan Ryan. Very good. Very good. Oh, that's funny. So, yeah, no, he's a patsy. So, of course, he didn't know what he was doing. That's the point of a patsy. So, I mean, I kind of disagree with that guy. I'm like, no, it's not that they got lucky. It's that they wanted it to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's a red herring. You know, you do that in stories all the time. But anyway, so this is a little bit of what Tucker Carlson had to say in terms of what they found. And we'll just move on to him here real quick.
Yay.
They are. These are genuine, written by Thomas Crooks. But although Crooks's comments are interesting and give tremendous insight into why he did it, they're not the only story. The other story, in fact, the far more significant story, involves the government, the DOJ, and the FBI, which have hidden from the public what they know about Thomas Crooks. The purpose of this report is to reveal details of Crooks's social media accounts and to confront a series of key questions. Why is the FBI keeping Crooks's views a secret? Why are they ignoring congressional subpoenas to divulge information? Why are they pretending that there's nothing to see here? And more than anything, what are they hiding? Before we present our findings, it's critical to establish how we obtained the comments and how we know they're real. In late September, we received a tip from a source. He told us he'd gained access to some of Thomas Crooks's accounts. He'd found these accounts by utilizing tools commonly used by private investigators. The key lead was Thomas.
So I'm breaking it up because, you know, copyright. But just so you know, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I was referring to. They found a phone number and stuff like that. So
I got
right.
you.
Yeah, not trying to be pedantic. I'm basically trying to think of something to say because, you know, copyright. So anyway, we'll let him kind of explain the backstory here, then we'll move on. I don't want to watch the whole thing because, again, copyright. But anyhow.
Copyrighted pedantics.
Yeah.
Crooks's phone number. That was published in documents obtained by America First Legal. That phone number led our source to Thomas Crooks's primary email account, tmcrooks7@gmail.com. That in turn, he linked with more than a dozen other accounts. That list includes 2 foreign encrypted email accounts, AmericanGamer@gmx.com, a German website, and bcook@mailfence.com, a Belgian website. Crooks had a Snapchat, Tom_Crooks19, a Venmo account, Thomas-Crooks12, a PayPal account under the alias Rod Swanson, a Zelle registered as Thomas Crooks, as well as accounts on Discord, a Google Play account.
Never heard of Zelle. Have you heard of Zelle?
Nope.
Haven't heard of Zelle either.
Never heard of Zelda.
Seems.
Zelle.
Yeah, what the? All right,
Account
moving on.
called Colossal Microwave, a Quizlet titled Thomas_Crooks, a chess.com with the same name, and 2 disabled Quora accounts under the handles
he played
Thomas
chess.
Crooks 8 and Thomas Crooks 3. It turns out
But no social media presence. None. He was a
What?
ghost, a loner.
See, that's what I'm saying is they went back and was like, hey, let's make all these and then link them together and say we did something.
So they gave him a chess.com?
Heck yeah.
Why would you
This kid
give
plays chess.
Why would you give him a chess.com?
I don't know. Is that, I don't even know what chess.com is. Is it like a place to play chess?
I have no idea. I would assume. I mean,
Oh.
if it was tic-tac-toe, I'd be confused, man.
Oh.
So, yeah. All right.
that Thomas
moving
Crooks
on.
was hardly an online ghost. He was active, and yet federal investigators lied and told us there was no trace of him online. Some of Crooks's accounts, like his Snapchat, appear to have been fully deactivated and completely taken out of use. Some of them may have been unused or cleared by federal officials during the investigation. We don't know because the FBI wouldn't tell us. However, our source was able to retrieve all data from Thomas Crooks's deactivated YouTube account, Tom Crooks 2178. visible to other users as Tom Crooks. This account includes his search history, his watch history, and 737 public comments. Another critical account, his Google Drive, is linked to an archive of Crooks' YouTube account. That's where our source obtained the videos of Crooks dry firing a handgun in his bedroom with paper targets on the wall behind him. But aside from the video evidence, the email addresses, and the phone number tying Crooks to the account, or the fact that most of these accounts use his actual name, there are other key details that support the authenticity of what we found. For example, this video's metadata shows it was filmed at Thomas Crooks' parents' home. And some of Crooks' YouTube comments are still available on Internet Archive sites. Crooks' YouTube channel was suspended on July 14th, 2024. That's the day after the shooting. Its offense, quote, violating YouTube's policy on violent criminal organizations.
So Google was
and though Crooks' comments are no longer available on YouTube, in many cases the commenter...
That's what's going on, is that the CIA and the... like, everybody's basically colluding, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they saw who it was and was like, oh, we need to make sure we're not affiliated with this guy at all. Delete everything.
Well, the CIA basically emails you and goes, hey, buddy, I'm not saying we'll break your kneecaps if you don't delete this, but it would be a shame if somebody did break your kneecaps because you didn't delete this. I mean, my friend Joey, like, remember that I talk about my the guy I produced for when he had a radio show and became the podcast. I talk about him all the time. He was Italian. He was his family was from the mob. He was very cagey and kind of evasive about the facts, but he had an Uncle
Italian
Louis.
mobster?
Yeah, he had an Uncle Louis. He's like, see, I don't want anything to happen to you, but my Uncle Louis,
hey, Uncle Louis,
he's not well, and I would hate for Uncle Louis to get upset because of this certain thing, you know. And so, that's what they do. They kind of go up to these guys and like, Uncle Louis was really upset about that Tom Crooks video or whatever.
Or in this case, Uncle Sam.
I would hate for, Uncle Sam to have to feel like he needs to do something about that because he's a little screwy, he takes it too far. And I would hate that for you. It's that kind of crap. So, the mob. So.
Commies.
Who responded to Crooks are still there, and they match what we see on the Internet Archive sites. When you click on their tags of Crooks' accounts, YouTube takes you to a page that says, this channel was removed because it violated our community guidelines. In other words, there is ample evidence to support the authenticity of these posts. Our source figured it out. So did we. But when we reached out directly to the FBI to ask why the Bureau hadn't shared any details from the account with the public, the FBI responded by questioning whether we could verify the authenticity of the count. We were confused by this, considering the authenticity is self-evident. And of course, the FBI would have known that since the day of the shooting. What exactly is the FBI hiding?
With AI,
he still looks terrified.
You want in seconds.
This used to require huge Hollywood budget.
That's Bongino, right?
No, that's Kash Patel.
Kash Patel. I'm sorry,
He's our trio of idiots in the overlay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, man, what a disappointment! I still can't get over that. Like, I still cannot get over how depressing it is.
It is.
He talked a good game, man. He talked a good game, and then ever since he got in there, it's like, man, you have just been a weasel.
Wasn't he a good podcaster that would speak out against all of it and everything?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if he had a podcast, but he was on the podcasting shows all the time. I bought one of his books, The Government Gangsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's about basically the Russia collusion scandal and who was behind it and all that good stuff. So. Thought he was going to be one of the good guys. But what I don't understand is why they're... I have a theory, but it's just a theory. I think that these guys are so obsessed with the reputation of the FBI that it's very obvious, the FBI or the CIA, probably the FBI because Crooks was trained at an FBI shooting range.
Wow.
They have footage of him being trained... or learning to shoot in that one of their little ranges, yeah.
Well, it's like
So-
you said, they could be threatening everybody with their kneecaps.
Yeah, well, that's what they did to social media, and yeah, I mean, that's how they get that's how they get the stuff deleted. But I completely lost my train of thought. Dadgum.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I killed your mojo again.
That's all right. Yeah. Anyway, bottom line is that's what it was. He's an institutionalist. He wants to protect the reputation of the FBI. That's the only theory. It's either that or they've got pictures of him naked. It's just something like that, But it's been very disappointing. Incredibly so.
It has been.
All right. I think that's about the gist of it. They found his social media information, and that just proved the FBI was lying about him not having a social media presence. So what else are they lying about?
What
That's
else
the long
are they
and short
lying
of it.
about?
Yeah. So moving on, or somebody else. Let's see.
Glenn Beck.
Yeah, we're gonna see what old Beck has to say here for a minute.
That Tucker Carlson has just released, and I want you to hear it not as partisan, but as an American who I think deserves straight answers, because there's something happening in our country, and we all know it, and it's easy for us to get lost and go down the road of conspiracies.
No, it's not.
One of my favorite lines from John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy, is we need some new conspiracy theories because the old ones all turned out to be right. And we don't need new conspiracy theories. What we need are conspiracy facts. And
I hate that term.
Conspiracy facts.
That just annoys me. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. That sounds like that came out of a boardroom.
Conspiracy?
A conspiracy facts. It's like a committee made that up. That's just my opinion. No, I'm like, man, that just, I cringed a little bit when I heard that.
Wouldn't that kind of
winced.
Cut each other out? Like conspiracy is the opposite of facts, right?
I think it's still basically choosing the liberals' paradigm or the government's paradigm. It's like we're going to frame things as like, if you believe in conspiracies, you're a crazy person. And I'm like, technically a surprise birthday party is a conspiracy. Conspiracies happen all the time. It's not that unusual. But, if you sit there and you adopt like their nomenclature and try to twist it around or whatever, you're still letting them determine what the narrative is going to be. The fact is, governments always mess over their citizens, and governments usually lie. There's nothing special or unique about that.
Right.
So why would you need this term about conspiracy theories and do all this stuff to make it seem like a fantasy? I mean, it's kind of the default of history.
Everything's a conspiracy.
Well, yeah. Well, people in power.
It's all a matrix.
Yeah, people in power make laws, and then they don't keep those laws, and then they try to cover up the fact that they're breaking those laws to get what they want. I mean, that's how it's
Round
always
and round we
been.
go.
So why do we need a special term to make it sound like it's unusual? It's like a government officials assassinating other government officials. That's the default. That's not a conspiracy theory. Like JFK, you know what I mean? Or this whole situation of Crooks. It's kind of the norm. I don't know where we got this idea. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I don't know where we got this idea that to assume that your government or people within your government would want to kill other people in your government is weird. It's like, have you heard of Rome? Rome was a thing.
Have you read any history at all?
Yeah, it's like politicians try to kill each other all the time. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying we should accept it. I'm just saying it's not a conspiracy theory in that it's like we're not talking about elves and dwarves fighting in Middle Earth here.
No. We're good, though.
But when you adopt their nomenclature, that's the impression they're trying to create. So maybe we should stay away from their nomenclature is my point. Because it's all about planting seeds in people's heads before you ever make an argument. So
we went over that in Genesis earlier. He planted seeds.
Yep, way to tie it all back in there. So, all right. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean if that was rude, but
No.
okay. All right, are we ready to move on?
Moving on.
I can't remember why I wanted to watch.
We are starting to see the
Something
outline
Beck
of something
said.
that should not make everybody feel really good. And I'll get into that here in just a second. But first, the more we learn about Thomas Matthew Crooks, this is the would-be assassin that got within an inch, a fraction of an inch, of killing President Trump. The story bends in Washington. And when a story bends, that tells me somebody is very, very busy trying to keep it from breaking. From day one, the FBI and their cheerleaders in the mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, the whole alphabet soup, all pushed one storyline. Crooks was pro-Trump, anti-immigration, a fringe right-winger radicalized by MAGA memes. Remember that? That's what the Biden FBI came out and said about him. Case closed. And then we never heard anything else because the story isn't just, it's incomplete. And as we're finding out now, it is also very, very misleading. We were told over and over again he had almost no online footprint. How many times did you hear that, Stu? He had almost no online footprint.
Yeah, I do remember, as you kind of mentioned, bits and pieces that came out about how he said this, but it wasn't a prolific poster, was always what they said.
And, you know, how did this guy come up with this sophisticated way to kill without having any online footprint? Okay. So apparently there's a very large footprint. He had a Discord account, a Snapchat account. He was extremely active on YouTube, his comment history. And that's where things start to get really, really strange. So let me take you through the phases of the guy who tried to kill Donald Trump. Here's phase one. In 2019, violent, yes, but directed at Democrats. In 2019, Crooks' YouTube comments were violent, very violent, no question. But they were directed almost entirely to anti-Trump people and Democratic officials. When I say violent, he was talking about decapitations and shootings taking out government officials. Now, we all know, I mean, you may not know, I know, but you may just feel like, of course, that's happening. The government is monitoring everything, okay? There are key words, decapitation of fill in the politician. That shows up. That rings alarm bells. If you are talking about violent things and politics, you get on a list. It's just, you should get on a list. You're talking about things like this, taking out government officials. You should. The government should be monitoring stuff like that. Now, remember, this is in a period when the U.S. government, we later have learned, was monitoring social media more aggressively than any other point in U.S. history. Okay? They were looking for these kinds of things. People were arrested for memes at this time.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep, because you're free. Anyway.
You're free to do what
there's
you
one more thing I
mean.
was wanting to get to on this before we go to Alex Jones. I'll see if I can find it.
Alex Jones. Jonesy boy. Jonesy boy.
You have to bear with me a minute. I'm going to have to look for it. Trevor, entertain the folks while I look for what I'm looking for.
Entertain folks. Okay, let me pull up the word of the day. Where did I put it? There it is. The word of the day is akimbo. Akimbo. It means it's an adjective. It means with hands on hips and elbows bent forward. That's from dictionary.com. So when you stand up and you got your hands on your hips and your elbows are bent forward, bent outward, not forward, outward, I'm sorry. That is the akimbo stance. Interesting.
All right. Very good. All right, we're back. Word of the day, akimbo. As in, this show is akimbo.
with easy access to a gun. And we have to have a conversation about that.
And within days of the shooting, U.S. intelligence officials started leaking about a supposed plot by the Iranian government to kill Trump. There was never any evidence, but if you were planning a regime change war against Iran, you might claim otherwise.
Let me read to you this breaking news that we are...
I can't argue with them. I mean, they were pushing that Iran thing like crazy the year before the election.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you remember that? It was like, oh, Iran really wants to kill the president. Iran really wants to kill the president, guys.
When have they not wanted to?
Yeah, exactly. First of all, you're right. You're 100% right. They're always wanting to kill the president. They're always wanting to kill Americans in general. That's not news. But they screamed it for like a year. And then you get two, assassination attempts. And one of those assassination attempts is linked to like Ukraine in like 2 minutes. Because the internet sleuths caught on after Crooks. Everything got deleted with Crooks. And so when the second guy tried to kill the president, everybody flooded social media and found all the guy's account information before the feds could wipe it out. And they figured out he was connected to Ukraine. And the CIA or the FBI or whoever went, rats. They got us. So I guess we have to have a regular trial now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We'll just shut down the government so that trial don't go anywhere.
Well, at least it's to our next thing, but let's finish this one first. So, there's one more detail I want to bring up.
3 U.S. officials who have been briefed on the matter. The U.S. obtained intelligence in recent weeks about an Iranian plot to assassinate Donald Trump.
The stonewalling, the lying, the persistent unwillingness to explain anything. All of it makes you wonder, what are they hiding? If the leadership of the FBI and the DOJ had any desire whatsoever to prove to the public that there is in fact nothing there, they could do that. But first they would have to answer these questions. Was Thomas Crooks known to federal law enforcement before the shooting? Was he known to local law enforcement before the shooting? And if not, why not? Who is Willie Tepes? And was he known to federal law enforcement?
That's the guy I was wanting to bring up. Willie Tepes.
Willie Tepes.
This is the guy that got a hold of Crooks, and then Crooks goes silent on the internet. So Crooks was talking all this crap, and then somebody gets a hold of him, and it's like,
Willie goes, hey, what's up?
Yeah, hey, buddy, have I got a job for you? And wouldn't you know it? So, I mean, obviously, but this is what everybody said from the beginning. This is what everybody was like, yeah, they got some unhinged kid who was mad at Trump. They said, hey, we're going to teach you how to be an assassin. And then they put him out there to be the fall guy. And then they had a backup shooter somewhere.
Give him a couple weeks of training and be like, you're ready to go. Mm-hmm. It's just like a movie. You'll be the hero.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, but they did the same thing to Oswald. That's what the armed gunman thing really is, because practically speaking, like historically, I don't know if there's a time where like somebody's like successfully went after a world leader like with a sniper rifle or something. Usually the ones I've read, it's like if there's a lone gunman, they're like in the crowd and they pull out a gun and they shoot the guy at close range or something like that, but every time you see one of these lone gunman scenarios where they have to get past security and all this and that, normally they've had help. Like practically speaking, it takes more than one person to actually pull something like that off, just as a rule.
Yeah, from my perspective, I don't see how this kid would have even got that close.
No, he was flying a drone around the place before the event even began.
Well, that right there should have put up red flags.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 100. I mean, the cops were calling on this. The cops were literally watching this kid roam around by himself on the fairground. And the crowd was screaming their heads off that this kid was climbing on the roof.
Yeah, I remember seeing those videos.
Right. Minutes before he ever got a shot off. And then once he got the shot off, the Secret Service wouldn't shoot him. It was the local cops that shot him.
Yeah.
It was a stand down. They found this kid, set him up, and then didn't do anything and gave him all the time in the world to kill the president. And then they had a backup agent that, for whatever reason, missed too. So you know, but
That's
he was just a
crazy.
lone gunman, Trevor.
I
He
would
was
like
just a
to
lone
hear.
gunman.
I would personally, not out of disrespect or anything, I would like to hear about the person that got hit in the crowd. Because there was a guy that got hit. It was sitting in the crowd. I think he passed, but I'm not sure.
There were 3 people, I think, that got hit. 1 died and 2 made it, from what I understand. I'd have to check that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And Google that really quick.
But
Boy, it'd help if I could spell.
hey, you can spell. You can spell backwards if that helps. I could fill it in with a dad joke.
Sure we go. Do that.
Do that.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish that I would stop dreaming that I was a muffler. That way I wouldn't wake up so exhausted.
I missed it. Say that again.
I really wish I would stop dreaming that I was a muffler. That way I wouldn't wake up so exhausted.
Oh, muffler. I thought you said mumbler. And I was like...
I am a mumbler. That's why I had to say it again.
Yeah. There you go. It was 3. I'm trying to find if I can get anything more specific than that. But it was 3 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
May you rest in peace, the one that passed.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us move on to Jones.
Here we go. Alex the Jones.
I don't know if he has anything actually to say on this or not.
It's all in paperwork.
Yeah. All right, we'll just start here in the middle and see what comes up with, and then we'll wrap it up from here. So,
See what happens.
yep.
Conspiracies that they like to say, oh, you don't know if this is true. Like they told Tucker, you don't know if this is true, this is authentic, but they won't actually put the information out there for the American people.
Yeah, that's
to
key.
see.
They say Tucker's full of crap, and then you have all the evidence come out, it's all true. And of course, it goes, we all saw it happen. He obviously probably wasn't even the shooter. You got all this forensics. It's crazy. Maybe Cash and them are just total amateurs because, I mean, this... if I was a villain, I would do a better job at this. It's like they just do the worst job possible.
Yeah. And I know we have like a couple of seconds, but I want to get out there too that Tucker did a good job at vetting this.
Hold on, do 5 more minutes. We got Kyle Server, the big FBI whistleblower, on all this coming up.
I disagree with that. I don't think it's a matter of being an amateur. I think that they're loyal to their institution.
No.
I think Cash, looking back on it, was just campaigning to get that job. It was a job he wanted. He couldn't get it through the left, so he chose to ally up with the right. And then once he got it, he did what he wanted. Because he's campaigned for this position before. So all of this was a marketing gimmick.
Oh, well, that would make everything make sense then.
Yeah, I think Cash just wanted the job, but he's a deep state guy through and through.
He just wanted that paycheck.
I think Dan Bongino might have got blindsided, but I think Cash is just a deep state guy. I just do. So,
Wow.
all right. Well, you know what? We're going to be listening to Jones here in a minute anyway, so let's move on to the next subject. If you are on the live stream, stay with us because we got one more segment left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.